Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to our next podcast episode. We can't wait today. We have a great topic. Today we talk about the evolution of the AC games in the last years. We talk about combat, we talk about stealth, we talk about the different tools we can use, skill trees, and also many other things. Today we have a special guest, like we said last week. Today we have Heaven with us. Heaven is one of our followers and he gave us a special topic. Welcome to this podcast, Heaven.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I really just wanted to go over some topics about like referring to the combat and stealth and everything. I feel like it'd be really cool because the Assassin's Creed games, the series has been going on for years, and there's so many changes, even from game to game, that have really massively shaken it up.
That's right, yes. Today we've also our guest, like last week, Heretic Assassin is also here.
Hello.
What's up, buddy? And also Roddy, and Roddy is playing today. Not Black Flag, is playing Odyssey.
Hello, Malaka.
Malaka, yeah, that's it. Greetings to Housings, he's not here unfortunately. Hope you're fine, hope everything is cool. See you next week, buddy, again. And let's start into it. Like every week, we're just doing our opinion round, and Heaven will start this today. First of all, we will talk about how the combat started in the AC series. Then we talk firstly about AC1 until AC Revelations. And before we started, is everybody fine from you guys? All is good?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, let's go. Then Heaven, stage is yours. Please tell us what you think about how combat started and how it evolved between AC1 and Revelations.
Well, so recently I had actually just started playing through Assassin's Creed 1 again for the first time in like years, and it really got me thinking because I had just went back and beaten Valhalla, and then I went to AC1, so I went to one of the most recent compared to like the first one, and the difference in the combat immediately was such like a massive change to me because I would say my most played part of the series was probably the like Assassin's Creed 3, Black Flag. Like I played those ones the most, so I was so used to when you're getting into fights, extremely easy combat in those games. You just wait for the indicator above the enemy's head.
Yes.
You hit the counter button, you hit the kill button, you're done.
Yes.
So going back into Assassin's Creed 1, it really was a massive shakeup to me because at first the combat took like a little bit of getting used to because the window of when you need to counter is so much smaller, I feel like. And also, you don't even start the game with the counter kill. Well, technically you do, but then you lose it immediately and you have to regain it by doing the main missions. So the actual combat itself, it felt pretty good. Honestly, like for its age, I was actually kind of surprised with how well it held up. I think that Assassin's Creed 1 just as a whole is really I think it's overlooked in a way. I know it's like the first one, and a lot of people usually say like the first in a series is the best, but I think that the series did get better as it went on, but I think Assassin's Creed 1 definitely deserves more love because of it. I think that even just not even talking about the counters, like how you had the grabs and like enemies would actually grab you, because I feel like that just really does not happen in the later games, like the Colonial games.
Good point.
With like AC3. You can like grab the enemies in AC3, but they will like never grab you back.
But you can grab them in the newer RPG games, right? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't even think you can grab.
Oh, okay, crazy.
I think it's just like attacking in the powers. But the way that I personally like cut up the series is I say like Assassin's Creed 1 to Revelations is like the beginning. Then I like have like the Colonial era, which is like AC3 to Rogue. Then I usually call it like the midpoint, like Unity and Syndicate, and then we have like the RPG games, and then Mirage is kind of its own thing. So I think Assassin's Creed 2 added in, if I remember correctly, the like indicators when an enemy was about to attack you. Like, so you kind of got that like view, and that was in like 2 Brotherhood and Revelations. So I feel like it made the combat easier, but then also in 2, you had medicine where you had to like heal yourself. And then I think in 2, I know in Revelations at least, you had like your armor that would break. And you'd have to get that repaired in combat. And I feel like that actually added in a level to the combat where it felt like if you could go through an encounter stealthily, it was better to do that so you didn't have to get medicine, get your armor repaired and everything. So I think that was actually a pretty cool change they made in the series as it went on. And like Revelations especially, I really liked Revelations as a whole, from like the gameplay, the stealth, like the hook blade was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then that was something that 2 and like 2 onward added, was it made it easier to use the hidden blade in combat, because I learned on this replay through of Assassin's Creed 1 that you can use the hidden blade in combat.
Yes.
I just never thought of doing it before. So when I started using it, I was like, wow, the game really does not tell you that you can use this.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yes, it's right. That's right.
Yeah, and it's nice because when you're fighting the Templar enemies, for example, they are in a one-on-one fight against the Templar. It's actually pretty hard in AC1. Like you have to really because they like block your counters and they don't let you grab them. So the easiest way to do it is just hidden blade, and you can insta counter kill anybody with the hidden blade compared to like the sword, because against a lot of the armored enemies, when you would go for a counter kill on the sword in AC1, like Altair would just like punch them.
Yes. And
then you would have to do a combo on them afterwards. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, because the window is like even smaller with the hidden blade. The window for the kill it's even harder to get it with the hidden blade. But once you get it down, it makes the combat even better. So it adds that variety into it. And then I learned as well in AC1 that when you start killing enemies, like the enemies will start like looking like they're scared or like tired, and then you can switch to the hidden blade and get like an insta kill on them.
Okay.
Immediately as well. So I didn't know that. Yeah, but when you're playing AC1, you'll see the enemies like they might put their sword down. You can switch to your hidden blade, and if you do a kill, like Altair will like jump on them and do like the assassination animation on them.
Yeah, yeah.
So I thought that was actually a really cool like thing, because it makes sense in combat. You know, they start off like feeling good about themselves, like, oh, there's 6 of us and 1 of him. But as their numbers start to go down, they start to get scared and run away. As well. I feel like it definitely made me feel like stronger as an assassin. Like I felt a lot like, I'm like, yeah, I am this intimidating presence that can take on like hordes of people. So I really felt like the combat started off super strong in the series, like as a whole. And even just the sword fighting itself, like you could actually block in AC1 with your sword, because I know in the RPG games later you get like a shield.
Yeah.
But like you could actually like block with your sword in this one, so it felt like more sword fighting. But like it actually felt like I was sword fighting in one.
But it's also one thing I liked about Mirage, that you can also block with your sword.
Yeah,
that's what also.
Yeah, and Mirage definitely felt a lot like 1 going back to it.
But one thing about what you said, so if I remember correctly, in Valhalla and for example on Unity 2, there's some colors or also shadows. When you see, okay, the enemy will attack me right now, I see the color, okay, it's yellow, I have to block or I have to watch out. But in, I think the first games there were no colors, right? There you just saw, okay, the enemy just will hit me with the sword, I have to push the button to counter him, right?
Yeah, I don't think there was like unblockable attacks like there are in the later ones that like you just have to dodge.
Yeah.
Later,
yes,
it felt.
Sorry, you have opponents who are stronger in the older games, which are you can't fight. Can only fight with a fighting style.
Yeah.
So with a special weapon, you can't fight the whole enemies with one style. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just felt like it felt very grounded at the beginning. Like it felt like more of a realistic thing.
Yes.
In the beginning of Assassin's Creed as a whole. And then as the series went on, it became more and more like fantastical.
Yeah. So we can say beginning of AC was more grounded, as you said. So Heretic, would you say that's right? Was the sword gameplay more grounded at the beginning, or was it already more like combat style at this time? What do you think about that?
Well, it's a long time since I played AC1, because last time I played it was on my Xbox 360, and now I haven't played it in, I don't know, maybe 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
5 years, 10, 7 years, I don't know how long,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't remember much about it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that the fighting was challenging and I liked it, but I remember that the weapons feel kind of heavy when Alter Ear, when you swing your sword on an enemy. It takes some time until you reach the enemy.
Yeah, but
and
but
and in the later games in the Ezio trilogy, it feels weightless a bit,
yeah, but
and I really like this about AC1. And yes,
yeah, like Heaven said, so I think that's the realistic approach he meant about when you say he's using a sword, but it took very long. So, but it's more
exactly.
Realistic, right?
Exactly. In AC1, they tried to do a realistic route. They tried to do it, make it feel realistic. And AC2, they tried to make it more challenging. And like, if you want to counter kill with your hidden blade, you have to time it exactly at the last moment, because otherwise you get damaged.
Yes.
And you can't one hit enemies with your counter kill in AC2. So it takes some time. Combat isn't that fast. It takes really some time. If you have a lot of enemies and you don't know how to fight, it really takes some time.
Yeah.
And I think in Brotherhood they made it too easy, because in Brotherhood you can just counter, and then you have a chain kill, and you can kill anyone, and then you can also combine your kills with your throwing knives and your hidden gun to get these cinematic double kills, and you can go on endless massacres. I really love this, but it's way too easy. And in Revelations, they did it better again, because they added the Janitschers, the elite guards of the Turkish, and you can't counter kill them like in Brotherhood, but they block you in unique animations, and they also can do the same moves at Ezio. If they attack you, they can kick you in the balls, and and you stumble. But I really like Revelations approach, but one thing about Revelations problem is the finishers take way too long. If you kill someone, Ezio is just doing some very brutal killing moves, and until this move is finished, the next enemy attacks you, and you have to cancel this animation to fight the other guard. This is some problem of Revelations that Brotherhood doesn't have. Brotherhood combat feels very smooth if you master it, which happens very soon, because it's very easy. But like Heaven said, in the beginning they tried to make combat really realistic. With AC2 they tried to make it more heavier, a little bit challenging more, and Brotherhood they tried just to make it feel smooth and make you feel like an absolutely killing machine. And in Revelations they tried to mix both again, Yeah, that's my opinion.
But also, if I remember correctly, so there we can also kick the enemies in two Brotherhood Relations, right?
Yes, we can kick the enemies in the balls, which is very rude to break their defense.
Oh my god!
I can imagine how they even can continue fighting if you get a kick in the balls with Ezio's knee, but they can.
But it's also a thing what very fits to Ezio, I think so.
Yes, fits to Ezio.
Yeah. Okay, Reddick, thank you for your approach. So, Roddy, last but not least, in our round, how is doing Odyssey? What are you doing right now in Greece?
Yes, on the road to Megarus. So I think about how was the combat system in AC1. So I have played AC1 for 2-3 months ago on Xbox Series S with the FPS boost. It was nice, really. And before I have played Valhalla a short time, and then I've played AC1, and I thought, damn, it's so hard. Really, the system, the fight system is so hard, cause for the older games, cause you can not fight like you can do a strategy like you can do in the RPGs games, you know. So this is one point I think. It's very good that the older games you have time, or you have to try lots of time to fight enemies and so on. And when you play it in the RPGs, for example, you kill it. You can instant kill it. You know, I know how long I fight against the Janitsharm and at the Turkish Revelations. What director says?
Yeah.
On the mission I don't know of 10, 15 times. I say, what the.
Oh my god.
Fuck, yo, it was so weird. I have checked the time, when can I block and when can I do this and that, and this was really heavy. So I remember when I do the challenges, you don't know if you remember, we have in Brotherhood and Revelations the challenges when you made the 100%. So it was very hard. I think it's harder. For me, I think it's harder than the RPG games to get the 100%. So I think the combat system is way harder and maybe a little bit more realistic. Yesterday I've played Black Flag, and this was kind of weird because there came 50 dudes, and after one, I said, okay, this is more unrealistic, you know.
That's a very good point you made. So we can say right now, our summary is AC1 combat until Revelations is more like realistic. It's grounded. But what happened between AC3 and Rogue? So like Roddy right now said, it's easier to kill the enemies. It's not realistic as the first AC games. So what happened at this time, Roddy? You can start, I would say, and then we do this time the other way around. Heretic and at least then Heaven.
I think we have more features. We have the bombs and so on, and in AC2 we have better armor and so on, and I think that the features we have made it way easier, you know. So we have, I don't know what that is. We have big swords. We have this. We have that. So it's for the gameplay. It's amazing. It's really amazing. You can play your own style, and if you play with this big sword, if you play with this sword with a hidden blade, with a phantom blade for its even now. So
Phantom
this is
blade?
I think it's easier. Yeah. So it was Unity.
I just thought, what the hell?
You know, I made what was the name of this shotgun from Da Vinci? You know, this ref can need it. This.
Gun.
Yeah, the hidden gun. Thanks. So this, this have you the hidden gun. I don't know. This have, and then you can aim to the enemies on the roof, and you can shut it down. So I think the games make it way more easier to play.
Okay. So Heretic, you said before that when you played AC1, for example, when you used Altair's sword, you said it was heavy and long and was very realistic. But what happened in your mind when you play with Connor or Edward or Adewale or Shay? What's about the combat with them? It's more like not realistic? Is it more like more realistic? Is it heavier? Is it easier? What's about that?
Well, it's way more brutal. They put way more effort into the finishers.
Yeah. And
you can go on massacres in AC3. There is a bug there where you can go really on endless massacres in Boston and New York. But it's just way too easy. They attack you, and on their head is a red sign that signals you, you have to counter now, and then you kill them, and then you can just kill everyone like in Brotherhood in a smooth way. And there is no really challenge. There are no Janitschars like in Revelations.
Yeah.
They go, in my opinion, in the Kenway games, they go way more into the Brotherhood route again. But it doesn't feel like that smooth, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's even easier. It's even easier in the Kenway game because in the Brotherhood you have the spearmen and the big X-Men, and you can counter them. If they attack you, you have to how is it called? Fuck. You go to the side to avoid the attacks, and then you can dodge. You know, you can dodge. You must dodge, and then you can kill them. And in the Kenway games, you don't have to. I think you have one enemy, these big fat dudes who throw grenades in Rogue and Black Flag, where you have to avoid them too. But part of that is it's just like way too easy. And it's the Kenway games have amazing, in my opinion, they have the best finishers, and there are so many cool ways how you can kill enemies, but it's way too easy in my opinion, and it doesn't feel very realistic and not very assassin-like. I mean, Connor is. I mean, they are all assassins. A part of Shay, he becomes a Templar, but you feel like a living wrecking ball. You can kill everyone. You can go into a fort and kill everyone, and you can also use if snipers shoot at you, you can use them as a human shield. I like this feature but in my opinion, it becomes way too overpowered. And in my opinion, the Blackway games, the Kenway games went into a direction that was far too easy, and they holded our hands way too much. And yes, I didn't like it that much.
Okay.
The combat there.
So you said the new trilogy. So you mean the games between AC3 and Rogue were like easier, not realistic as the first AC games, and it was not so hard to kill like 100 enemies at one time because there are no complex systems like before, and it was more like a broader approach. Okay. Interesting. So, Heaven, so what do you think about what happened with Connor, with Edward, with Shay? What happened between AC3 and Rogue?
Well, I think this like period is probably the most I played. So I'm really I've really gotten down like the combat systems to a T, and I will 100% agree that it is like probably the easiest the combat has ever been. And there's a part of me that likes that because it's like sometimes I just kind of want to go on like a rampage in a game and just not feel like I'm dealing with any enemies really. And it's like Heretic was saying, there's the enemies, I believe they're called like the bombardiers. They're the ones with the axes that will throw the grenades. The easiest way to take them out is if you're like face to face with them. If you just hit break defense, then like Connor or Edward will like grab them and then basically push them to where you're now behind them, and then you just hit attack once and you'll like instantly kill them from the back. So it's like it is really easy to take them out. And you compare that to how it was in like AC1, where there was just really no way to just do an insta kill like that that wasn't a counter kill. And another thing that these games introduced that the other ones didn't really have as much is a lot more weapon variety. Like especially in AC3, like you could have like your sword, or you could have like the dagger, or you could have an axe, and you can pick up like people's muskets or like the officer swords and stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool, especially doing like running into a fort barehanded. And then just using the like steel weapon from somebody. Like if you disarm when you're barehanded, then you'll steal their weapon from them. And it was really fun just trying to like take down an entire fort without using any of your weapons. And it was so easy to, and it was just a lot of fun basically. And I think that's one thing they really nailed. And I know a lot of people complain about it being easy, but I feel like honestly, it's nice to have sometimes in games. And that's one thing that like the Assassin's Creed series as a whole to me is that they're really like almost like comfort games where it's like I'm playing them because I want to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not looking for like the stories are good, but like they're not masterpiece stories,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So it's like I'm just looking for fun, you know.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy my time. I want to be an assassin.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy this time
Yeah,
period.
yeah.
And I think the Colonial games really hit that on the head, where it's just like you can enjoy the world and the story and the characters and just have fun in the combat. Like in AC1, when I got into combat in AC1, I was like, okay, I've got to focus because I'm actually going to, you know, like have trouble here.
Yeah.
But in the other ones, it was just like, you know, you can just steamroll everybody.
Yeah.
But the one complaint I had with because I love the kill animations and I love how they're in the middle of combat. Because the later RPG games only gave you one kill animation once combat was over, and there was only like 3 in the whole game for each weapon. But in this one, every weapon has a ton of different animations depending on what angle you like kill the guy with, and you'll get them in the middle of combat, where you'll just be fighting through, like let's say you're using like Connor's Tomahawk. You'll be like fighting through a group of enemies and you just like quickly rip out one guy's throat. You can like stab a dude in the back of the head. It's like it just felt really good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they're like, if you ever just want to have fun, like these are definitely the games to go to.
Yeah.
Because they just perfectly nailed it.
Yeah.
With that, even though it is easy, it's still just like the best. Especially when you start adding in the gadgets like the guns, the rope darts, smoke bombs, throwing knives, and then like the blow dart that you get as Edward, being able to like put people to sleep, like berserk guards to where they start attacking other people. I think that really like they really started to catch their stride in these games, I think.
Yeah, so one thing I must say about games between AC3 and Rogue, it was more like, yeah, you can say, okay, I'm assassin, I have to watch out from all the guards, but if they saw you, then it was no problem because you're a Connor, you just kill everybody, you're a warrior, it's no problem for you. But then maybe when you was Altair and then you was recognized, was seen by anybody, then it was more heavier for him to kill everybody because he's not just like a warrior like Connor or so. So I understand the point of, so I would say our summary is more like they put more focus on the combat itself and stealth was more going to the background, I think so. Is it a good conclusion?
Yeah, especially in this period, I feel like stealth kind of took a big backseat, where it's like you kind of can do stealth in some of the missions, and if you want to like get 100% synchronization, they wanted you to use stealth, but the most efficient way was just to run at the enemy.
Yeah.
Like that was like the best way to clear them out.
So
I kind of disagree because that's only in AC3 where you can't really do stealth. In Black Flag and Rogue, you have this blow darts and sleep darts. You can just put them into sleep and then you can go into the stealth mode. But yeah, I agree in the point what you're saying. But you can do stealth in those two games. But like you said, the Kenway games are more combat based. You can go in and kill everyone, and if you're seen, that's no problem. Kill him, just kill him.
Yeah, I think my problem with the stealth in it is like you definitely could, and like I've done it before in like Black Flag and Rogue, where I just try to use like the gun, the blow darts, and like the gun in Rogue. But my problem is it's like, all right, so I can either spend like 10 minutes meticulously taking out each guard in this area, or I can just run in and kill them in like a minute. And it's like I might as well just go and kill them because I'm not going to deal with anything. Except in AC3, they had the notoriety system where the more you did do that killing, the more like you became known and the guards would start attacking you on sight. Which was really fun because it added in a lot of like it made sense where it's like you can't just go around killing people constantly. You know, eventually they'll pick up like, all right, this guy wearing this hooded robe that is supposed to blend into the crowd but stands out so much. You know, like we know that this guy's out here doing it, so they added in the notoriety system, but then it didn't even come back really until Mirage. And then Mirage had the notoriety system in it, but it felt very punishing.
I fucking hate the system.
Yeah,
Yesterday I played.
don't like the
I played
notoriety
Mirage
system
again.
in Mirage.
I killed somebody. Oh, I killed him. Called short. What's the name again? Shorter. I don't know.
Shorter.
Yeah, Shorter.
The Shorter.
And, dude, you
judge.
see nothing. Just go away. It's so annoying, but it's cool.
It felt. Yes. It feels cool because it feels realistic, but as a gameplay, it's like, man, I kind of want to just
it's
kill
just
people
like
in the city right now, you know.
It's just like also when it's raining and then you are climbing, then you can climb because it's too slippery. Also, so it's nice, but I don't need that.
Yeah.
So all right. That's now we said okay. The combat was more focused for AC3 Anti-Rogue. I think that Unity and Syndicate are the next game we're talking about. And my personal opinion is I really like the games because it was more like the opposite, because in this games it was not about combat, it was more like more about stealth again. It was important to watch out from the enemies, to not fight 100 enemies at one time, just kill everybody very, very quietly, very stealthy. I think it was very nice in these games, and so that's why I now want to you guys again. Do you like the combat from Unity and Syndicate, or do you say okay, I'm more like a combat fan? It's just like it's sad that they have more focus on stealth. What do you think, Kevin?
Personally, I would say out of all the Assassin's Creed games, the one I have the least amount of experience with is Unity, especially its combat, because usually when I do play it, I try to do as much stealth as possible, because I really, really like the stealth in Unity and Syndicate, which is why in Syndicate, I basically never played as Jacob, if I could help it. Yeah, I would always play as Ify whenever I could.
But if you speak about Syndicate, can we please talk about one thing? Just one thing.
Yeah.
Why we can't wear the hood when we are just walking around?
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. That's the worst. I can get it for Jacob, kind of. That he's the less assassiny of the two. So
you're right.
It would make sense that he'd wear his hats. Yeah. But like with Ify especially, like there's no reason she should not have her hood up when she's just walking around.
Yeah.
And like playing through like Unity and Syndicate, I think Unity's combat was okay. It wasn't my favorite, and it was like at least the finishers were kind of nice. Yeah. Like you got their health down, they kind of like, you know, got like stunned, and you would do like a finisher on them. And like it was okay. Like Unity's was fine, I think. I definitely think the stealth was where that game shined, and the combat definitely felt harder in Unity than it was in the Colonial games, because you couldn't just you can't just like run through people like you could in the other ones. But Syndicate, I think, is probably my least favorite combat in any Assassin's Creed.
Thanks to Roddy, mine is too.
It's the least.
I don't even know on anything on it.
It's just basically you keep like spamming attacks, and there's like no real reason to do anything else. And then because of the time period it's set, because of Victorian England, you have these pistols that are like semi-automatic with multiple like bullets in a clip. So it's like you can just start like mowing people down with like your gun, and it's like, why do I even use this weapon at this point? Because my weapon does like barely any damage. And this was like, I think Unity, if I remember correctly, it's been a little bit since I played. Did Unity have health bars on the enemies?
Yes.
Okay, it did have. Yeah, so that was the first. So this is when they first introduced health bars, and I don't know about you guys, but personally, I kind of like not having health bars for enemies in Assassin's Creed games specifically. Just because I feel like it just looks better to not have health bars. And like the RPG games, I'm not really a fan.
I'm not a fan of the health bars.
I'm a fan of health bars. I kind of like them.
No, I don't like it.
But if I don't have them, I don't know when my enemy is dead.
I think that's one thing that like I think that's one thing that kind of added to it, especially in like Assassin's Creed 1 and like 2 and like that era, where it was like there was kind of, since the combat was harder, there was kind of that like added panic to it where it's like, how much longer do I have to fight this guy before I can go on to the next one? But when you've got the health bars, you can like, oh, I can ignore him. He's got like a sliver left, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly hit him in a second here. But
good point.
You know, with the other one, it felt like it added to that panic, but now it's like you can kind of micromanage the health bars. And then also when they add health bars, it, like Rowdy was kind of saying, it feels like it takes forever to kill them in these ones, especially Syndicate. It takes forever to kill enemies in Syndicate. Even when you have like the highest level gear against low level enemies, you're just constantly hitting them. And I just think that was like the weakest part of combat, but I think it was one of the strongest parts of stealth. I think Mirage is the strongest stealth game.
Oh, okay.
But I think Unity and Syndicate had the second strongest stealth.
Okay. Nice approach. I would say also that the combat in Syndicate it just looks ugly. It's more like a comic book, like Roddy said, and he was right. At first, I said to him, I like the combat in Syndicate, and he told me, okay, Livino, look at the combat, please, again. Then I mentioned, oh yeah, it's just comic-like. It's not very... Yeah, it's not even realistic. It's just like hitting the enemies from one day to other side. It's like when they're falling, looks just ugly and they're very very weird, and so that's a good point, of course. So do you want to say something happen again, or can I go on with Heretic? I didn't know, so I just have to ask you.
Yeah, the one thing I just wanted to add with Syndicate's combat is it's like they really wanted you to get their health bars to 0 and then do a finisher on them. But if you didn't, because you're attacking other enemies or you just didn't get to them in time, they go into this like state where they're like slumped over and they're like looking like Mortal Kombat, like they're waiting for you to like finish them. And then if you don't, they just like flop over and just like fall on the ground dead. So it's like kind of an unsatisfying ending, because at least in Assassin's Creed 3, when you like got somebody low health, like you would just do a finisher animation on them anyway. So it was like, it felt a lot better in the combat, and like it looked better too, and it wasn't just kind of like stilted like it is there.
Okay,
but yeah, that's
okay, nice approach. All right. So thank you very much for that opinion. So I would say Heretic is our next guest in the round to talk about Unity and Syndicate. So Heretic, do you like the combat of Unity and Syndicate, or do you also focus more on stealth and did not even take the combat approach?
Well, you know me, I love stealth, but Unity's combat suffers under two things. Unity's combat suffers under the non-finished state, because many animations look very buggy. If you parry guards weapon with other weapons a part of the sword, it looks very buggy. And if you kill them, there are some things bugging around, or if you kill someone and directly in the killing finisher animation, they start attacking you and you interrupt it again. These are things that very annoy me. But Unity's combat was a very cool way, in my opinion, because Unity's combat was again very into the realistic part, more like AC1, you know. And if you play with the sword in Unity, it's really really fun, because the animations, if you counter and block, they are so satisfying. If Arno blocks, he gives him a kick the enemy to stun him, or he hits him with his head to knock him out shortly. It looks so satisfying, like in a sword fight. You can watch in a TV, you know, like in a movie. It looks very cinematic, and I really love. But the problem is it's unfinished state. That's the problem of Unity's combat, and I really like it that it's very very challenging, because you can't fight whole armies again like Connor did. You have to you have to start the combat and be prepared to fight for a long time, or you have to use stealth, or you run away, and this gives me the assassin vibe. You know, assassins are meant to be stealthy, and Unity's combat can be really fun. I can really what do
you mean?
Can really just tell everyone who says Unity's combat is bad, pick up, use the sword in Unity and try to do combat. It's very fun, and I think their animations look very satisfying.
Yes.
And I think it was a very bad idea to not build on Unity's combat anymore and abandon it completely after Unity, because I loved it and I'm still sad that it never really come back. So that's my point on Unity. And Syndicate, like you all said, Syndicate's combat looks goofy. It looks like Looney Tunes, and the problem is Syndicate's combat Syndicate's combat is more like Brotherhood. No, not Brotherhood, more like the Kenway saga again. You can just kill everyone, and you don't have to watch if you are spotted or not, because the combat is easy. You can even dodge bullets, and like Heaven said, you can kill, you can fight the enemies, and if they are nearly done, they stand around like a Mortal Kombat enemy who's waiting for a finisher. But one thing he forget, you can Syndicate is the only one where you can do a foursome counter kill. You can kill 4 guards at once, and it looks so goofy because they are just standing around and waiting for you to break their arms, and you can put them to put their heads together. It looks so goofy and so ridiculous, and the ragdolls are flying around. You hit them with a knife and they are doing a fucking flip. Syndicate's combat was, in my opinion, bad from the start, and it never was got any better. Syndicate is my worst combat in the series, like all of you guys.
Because you said breaking the arms. When I was Gamescom this year, I saw the Shadows gameplay walkthrough again, and then I saw a new finisher from Yasuke. Yasuke was grabbing an enemy and just break his ribs. It looks awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, really.
That's cool.
It's brutal and it's hard, but
Yasuke wins.
Oh man. Like Heaven and Retic said, Unity was more like an approach for stealth. It was not like Arnold's not the very combat machine. It's not like killing 100 enemies at one time. It just watch out for enemies, it goes stealth, and if you do combat maybe with 1 or 2 enemies. And also Syndicate is more like the goofy game style or a combat style, like we said all. So Roddy, what do you think?
Yes.
Do you think Syndicate is better, or do you have the same opinion like us?
Yes, I have the same opinion, but I think, in my opinion, the AI of the enemies are in Unity and in Syndicate much worse for the combat system. You fight against them, and so I played it since release, you know, and I have so many bugs, and I kill them, and when I have killed them, they stand up. I remember the
That's not the case anymore. That's not the case anymore.
This was the case. For a year ago, I played the Notre Dame mission where you have rescued the things. I don't know where this was. But I have the same one. I kill them and they stand again, wieder up.
Stand again, wieder up.
Yes, this bug is still on the line.
Okay, never heard about it. Interesting.
But the AI is the problem, I think, in this case. For me, because they are not so flow like in the Kenway saga, you know. So this is what I. It's cool. Unity is of course better than Syndicate. Syndicate was crap.
I think so. Do you think
this? So, but.
Yes. Do you think that too erratic in Heaven? Do you think also that Unity is better than Syndicate?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, of course.
Nice. Fuck Syndicate. No problem. Syndicate's
No,
also a
not
nice
fuck
game.
The only
No,
good
not
part I
fuck
liked about
Syndicate,
Syndicate, I liked the grappling hook, like kind of attachment thing.
Oh,
behind
no.
Syndicate. I thought that was kind of cool.
That was killing
I hate it.
parkour, but yeah, I feel you. That's I think it would be another topic because oh damn.
But one thing I like to ask Roddy, you say there are the enemy IE is bad because at release day you killed enemies and they just got relived again. But what you think about the combat now? Because
Yes,
all
this
of this got patched.
No, there's nothing all else patched. A few things are patched, but not all. This bugs they're still in the game, but maybe you can see them and maybe they are don't. So I have one fight. It was in the Napoleon mission. So I've give them hit the enemies, but they are no damage. So
Okay.
though it's still buggy on some points, but not so buggy like to release, but it's still buggy.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
So yes, it's like in Valhalla we have the fell from heaven bug, or you haven't it. So this is the point,
Very good bridge for our next.
Yeah, right.
Roddy is the master of the bridges. It's insane. Yeah, so our summary is like AC1 anti-relations is more realistic. Then we have AC3, AC Rogue, so it was more like on combat style and more brutal. Unity and Syndicate were more like stealth again. But what about the RPG games? What about Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla? So, I think it was both more or less. So, you can also choose with Baye, Cassandra, or Alexios, or Eivor. Okay, I do stealth, or I do go in full combat. But that's my opinion. What do you guys think? I think we will also start again with Roddy, if it's okay for you guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Roddy, let's go. Do you think
Yes,
I'm
okay.
right, or do you think I'm totally wrong?
That's both. No, I've played at the moment. I played Odyssey, so I've started the game and I've some on the island, and this stealth is when you can use different ways. But I can here for Odyssey. I can use one way. I go in the bush, and hid me in some trees or something, and then this is my stealth action, or when I above someone, so I can jump down. So this is the only thing as stealth. This is not stealth, you know what I mean? Stealth is when you can use more interactions with I don't know. You can hit you like in Unity behind a door or something. You know what I mean? So. Or social stealth. So this is stealth for me. The other is yes. I don't know. I've played when I was young. I played Hitman. You all know Hitman, the game?
Yes.
Silent Assassin, Hitman Contracts. You can go stealth, and this is some more way. You have more ways to go stealth, and this is what you have in the RPGs. You haven't. So you have not the opportunity. To make some really stealth. Yes, you can make a little stealth, but not big as in the older games.
Okay, so as you would say, the focus was also more on combat again, not on stealth. Okay,
Roddy, just one thing. You just talked much about the stealth, but we're talking about the evolution of the combat. What do you think about the combat of the RPG?
Oh,
game?
sorry, that was my fault. The combat.
Thank you.
Yes, the combat is. Sorry, this was my fault. Sorry, guys.
Unforgiving.
So yes, the combat is much easier. What I at the beginning say, you can make a strategy how to kill the enemies. So I can do. I don't know. And when I play Origins, you have the Philakitai,
Oh yeah.
So they was 5 level above me. So and I make a tactic how I can kill him. So I get a weapon, but so you know.
Do you let me tell? I think you were doing the same like me. I just go in the tower and then hit him with the bow every time.
Yes. So this is so you know this. You can you make strategies to the enemy. So and this is make the combat much easier, of course.
Yeah.
And you have the superpower moves, you know.
Oh yeah, you're right. The special abilities.
It's a special ability, so this is more easier. I think the combat is more easier than the old.
Okay.
For my opinion, my opinion.
Interesting. Heretic, what do you think? Do you also think that the combat is easier in Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla? Or is it more heavier? Is it?
I disagree. In my opinion, it's heavier again.
Oh, okay.
Because I played Origins a lot, and a lot of times.
Yeah.
And Origins combat feels very good, and the parrying, it's in my opinion much better than in Valhalla, Odyssey, and Mirage. You have to parry at the right time with your shield,
yes,
and then you stun them really with your shield, not just block and can attack them again, because you can stun them, and you have these health bars, and you can plan your strategies to kill them, but it's in my opinion more difficult because enemies don't wait like in the Kenway games until their body dies and then they attack you, because they attack you at the same time. And what I really like is that they invented the dodge button in Odyssey and in Origins. It looks very good. It looks very it looks very good that you can dodge. In Valhalla it looks odd and buggy in my opinion. And I think the combat is fun. It's actually really fun. I mean, I love the combat in Origins, especially when I go into the battle arena in Cyrene, in Cyrene, and go into the arena mode and kill everyone. I really love this, and it feels good. It's you use your strategy to. Some guys you have to dodge, some guys you have to block, some guys you have to kill soon, and there are also animals that you have to dodge, or you can lead to your enemies so they attack them. You know, in the RPG games you have more variety to create your combat. You can, or like you said with the Phylakis. With the Phylakis, if they are level highest than you, you can just manipulate the alarm clock in Origins, and then when Phylakis goes to the alarm clock, you shoot a fire arrow, and the Phylakis is one dead. He's always dead.
Wow, that's brutal.
Yes, but it's very effective. Believe me, guys.
Also, he would be not proud of you.
And yes, that's Origins. And in Odyssey's combat feels better in the kinds of fighting. It's faster and more agile. You can do it. It feels way more agile. But my problem with Odyssey's combat is not the abilities of the Spear of Leonidas. I like most of them, but that you do so little damage. You have one enemy and he has a health bar that is so immense. They are all sponge bosses, you know. And the mercenaries who hunt you, they have massive health bars too. And then in Odyssey, also the civilians attack you with their broomsticks, you know.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah. That was nice. So if you, Evan, sorry.
And wait, one thing. Valhalla, I'm not a fan of Valhalla. I think it was one of the worst combats in the series. It doesn't have so much variety in terms of killing animations, and it feels slow, heavy, and it looks buggy. If you dodge in Valhalla, it looks buggy and ugly as hell. And I don't have much positive to say in terms of combat in Valhalla, but the enemy variety in Valhalla is really, really good. There are many enemies, and you have to change your strategy to eliminate them. That's a very good point.
Did you choose choose female or male Eivor, Heretic?
I choose male Eivor, but I know female Eivor is canon, and I choose male Eivor only because I prefer the voice acting and I think he looks cooler because you can customize his beard.
Greetings to Magnus Brun. You did an awesome job, guy. Yeah, dude, this was so awesome.
Yes, Magnus Brun did one of the best voice acting in the series, hands down.
Yeah, that was awesome. So for myself, I played the female warrior, female Eivor. But which Eivor did you use, Heaven?
I did male as well.
No.
I just felt like to me I was just like I want to be a Viking, so I wanted to be like male because I wanted to have like the beard and everything.
Lagata from Vikings was also a female Viking.
Yeah, and I don't know, it was just a personal thing. Also because I played Cassandra when I played Odyssey.
Me too.
So I was like, this time I'll do the male.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what?
Totally fine, no problem. But Heaven, so what you said you very like Unity and Syndicate because of the stealth approach. But what do you think about the RPG games in relation to the combat? Do you like the combat? Is the combat too heavy for you? Is it the combat you always wanted to be an AC game? What you can say us about the combat in the RPG games?
So I think for me, in my opinion, I remember when Origins first came out, I had gotten it on release day, and I immediately was just like, this game is like fantastic. Like I just remember like even like the first initial like beginning in like Siwa, I'm like, this game is like great. I really liked the combat, and I really like how you can change the weapons are like so different. Like you have like your swords and your daggers and your pole arms and like axes and like all this other stuff that's just like, you know, it really changes how you play because you get different overpowered attacks. And I think you have like your shield and everything, and there's the parrying, like Heretic said, and then the bows also was a really good addition because even in combat, the bows aren't completely useless.
That's right.
Especially the ones like the rapid fire bows, or like the ones that shoot multiple arrows in one go. Like they're actually pretty useful in combat. And I feel like Origins had a really good blend of enemies that were strong and like fodder enemies. Because even though I will say that Odyssey is like my favorite, I agree with Heretic that like some Odyssey enemies are just massive damage sponges. Like it's just like these massive health bars. Even enemies that aren't even bosses. Like especially when you get to the boss enemies, like when you're fighting like Medusa or like the Cyclops, it's like that. It takes forever to kill those guys. But I do really love the abilities in Odyssey. To me, it doesn't feel like very Assassin's Creed though to have these abilities where I like can magically light my sword on fire, or like you have the like the one spear takedown where you get like the 5-hit combo on them and you get your overpower attack back. Like those ones are like, I really thought it was fun for the combat, but for the series I was like, I'm kind of glad that they went away from that, but it was really fun. And I think that like Odyssey has like some of my favorite combat in the series, because while the Kenway and like AC3 games were really fun for combat, I think Odyssey and like Origins especially have like challenging combat at times, but also fun, where it's not like, because I really like the Dark Souls games, but sometimes the combat in the Dark Souls games are like, you know, a little rough, but I feel like the Assassin's Creed like RPG games kind of got that feeling of the combat with like the lock on, the dodge, but also it was like super challenging.
Yeah,
which was nice.
I would say that too. So I really liked the combat in Origins, I must say. I think it's my favorite combat before Odyssey and Valhalla. Because I would say combat in Valhalla looks clunky and comic-like too, like in Syndicate. I don't know if you agree with me with them. If I'm the only
not comic-like, but it looks clunky and slow and heavy and bad.
Yeah, I really did not like Valhalla, like honestly at all. I'm trying to find something positive because I don't want to be super negative. but like
No,
the one thing that was kind of cool that Valhalla did that Mirage kind of did too was giving you like a stamina bar. And I don't really mind it because it's like if you get a hit, then you don't lose the stamina.
Yeah.
But if you're just like swinging wildly, then you do run out of stamina, which I kind of like because it adds a bit of level to combat. But at the same time, it also made it feel kind of annoying when you were fighting like a really agile enemy that was dodging around a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm not trying to miss, but this dude is just like constantly moving out of the way. But the skills in Valhalla I feel like were not as good as Odyssey's. Like, and I know we're going to get onto them a little bit later, but I especially didn't like them. And then also touching on the stealth, like we were said, I feel like Origins, my biggest issue with it is there's only like one like hidden blade kill animation where you like cover their mouth, stab them in the neck. Like even if you're looking at them face on, you punch them in the face, turn them around, stab in the neck. It gets kind of like boring to see. And Odyssey not having the hidden blade, I feel like did really hurt it because I love the spear. I think the spear is cool.
Yeah, I think
and they
so
do
too.
good stuff with it. But I just kind of miss the blade. Like it's so iconic. It is like the Assassin's Creed thing is the blade.
Yeah, one of
so
them.
To not have it was kind of like you know,
besides the haystacks and so
yeah, and I feel like you couldn't really do that much of a stealth build in Origins, but there were like some skills that helped you in Odyssey for stealth, and there were some in Valhalla too, but Valhalla really felt like they didn't want you to do stealth. Like it was there, but it just really felt like they kept trying to get you to be more of like a fighter, which makes sense for a Viking because Erebor is not like a hidden one ever. But you know, and that's another thing too. It's like, come on, like it makes sense Cassandra isn't because you know it was before her time. You know, but like at least like have Erebor join them at some point. Why not? They use a hidden blade. You know? But overall, I just think I love Origins. I love Odyssey. I think Valhalla was kind of a misstep. I'm glad they kind of rectified it in Mirage, but not
Valhalla
as well.
Was the financial most successful title for Ubisoft. It's so crazy. It's the baddest. It's the most hated AC, but it's the most financial successful AC. It's crazy.
Yes, because
I wonder
of
if
MTX.
that. Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder how much that had to do because of that, and also the Dawn of Ragnarok DLC, because that was like a whole, basically like buying another game. And it was like a DLC for that, and I mean they priced it like it was another game as well.
But I like this DLC. I kind of like it.
I liked it too. I thought they did pretty good with it. It felt like the Tyranny of King Washington DLC for AC3, where you could like transform.
Yeah, that was also insane. So after Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, something happened. And also before Shadows, Ubisoft Bordeaux created an awesome AC. In my opinion, I think you also agree, Mirage was released last year in October. And also yesterday, guys, we streamed the game again. And also, already you can also say after the 18th playthrough, it's an awesome it's an awesome Assassin's Creed game. It's Basim. Basim is a hidden one. We play with him. We learn how he gets stronger and stronger. How he ranks up in the Brotherhood itself. And I also like the combat in Mirage. But what is the difference between Valhalla and the Mirage combat? Why is the Mirage combat better than in Valhalla?
Well, I guess I can go ahead. I think that the main thing with the Mirage I feel like lacked when it came to combat for me was kind of the variety of being able to use different weapons, because you're always stuck to your sword and dagger, which like, I mean, I get it because that's what Basim's trained in, so that's what he's used to using, so it makes sense that he would use it, and I feel like that.
And also Basim is no warrior, like we said before.
He's definitely more of an assassin.
That's why he his focus is not on combat, his focus is more on stealth. But when he have to combat, I think he's not as bad as Arno or so. He's able to fight some enemies at the same time, but it's very hard, I think so.
Yeah, I did like that a lot in Mirage, where it felt like they were really trying to decentivize you just running in and doing combat. Because while the combat itself wasn't bad, it definitely felt, to me personally, it felt kind of more like Assassin's Creed 1, which I know they were really trying to do in this one, was kind of recapture that old feeling. And I know some people say they didn't, but personally, I think they did. And I think the combat was a really good point to that, because I felt like the combat should have been harder.
Yes.
Because Basim's not a warrior, so it should be harder, because he's not like Connor, who is like a muscular brute who can just like tear through people.
I mean,
he's definitely more stealthy.
Look at the CGI trailer.
And I feel like they really...
I know Connor is just a one-man army. Like Mrs. Kenway, greetings to you. Always said one-man army. That's it's just insane.
Yes.
Yeah, I really feel like they capture that well. So while I like the combat in Mirage for what it stands for, I would definitely say it's not my favorite to actually play, but I barely get into combat in that game because I try to be as stealthy as possible.
Yeah.
And just because it's fitting for it. It's got everything I need for stealth. So the only time I really ever did combat was if like something went wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Heretic, what's up?
Yeah, hello. I'm still here. Yeah.
He was sleeping. No problem. No, I meant
No.
What? So I think you like Mirage, right?
Yes, I like Mirage combat, and I know that the combat is very, very hated into the community. But I have to say, sorry, but most of the players just suck at the combat, and because
yes, it's right.
I mean, it's fair.
It's true. Because if you take some time and try to master it, it can be really fun. And I play it on the highest difficulty at Master Assassin, and it's a lot of fun. But what I want to say first, the thing is, if you play Mirage on easy, you can play it more like the Kenway games.
Yeah.
You counter kill everyone. You can counter kill everyone except the Shakaria dude. And for players who prefer this kind of combat, they can have it in Mirage. But if you play it on the highest difficulty, you have a combat more like a mix of Origins, Unity, and Heaven just said, it's Basim just have the sword and the dagger, and doesn't fight with a hidden blade, which makes sense. But I really like it because they put so much effort into this, and they are very cool killing animations. I mean, I can remember nearly all of the finishing move, and all look fantastic. And it's my biggest problem with the Mirage combat is that if you attack guards with your light attack, they don't react to it. They don't react to it. They not screaming or stepping backwards in pain or something like that. They only doing this if you use a heavy attack. Then they react to it. But if you do a light attack, they don't care about it.
Yeah.
And this feels odd. But Mirage combat is actually pretty hard. I have to say, it's harder than Unity's in my opinion, because firstly the Shakaria dude takes you apart if you don't use your objectives, your tools. And to create a diversion or use smoke bombs. But you have really to be careful, because if you fight more than 3 guards, they quickly kill you, because especially the spearmen are very hard in this game, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And Mirage combat is actually pretty good and pretty fun. I think many of the players should just play Mirage combat again and take some time to learn it. Because they say it's bad, but I don't know how they play it, but you can play it and you have a lot of fun with it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I love Mirage Combat. It's not my favorite, but it's very far in my rankings in terms of combat.
Okay. Roddy, our Mirage Grandmaster, or the Mirage developer, the Mirage mentor, the Mirage, I don't know, 18 playthrough is just insane and awesome. So you've seen everything from the game.
Yes. It's 390 hours. 390 hours.
Oh my
Mirage.
god.
You are sick.
That's the amount of hours I would have for Valhalla, but not for Mirage. Insane. Really insane.
Yeah, that's one Valhalla.
I have seen all things in Mirage. All things. There is nothing what I haven't seen in this game. So ask me what you want now.
Okay, what's your favorite NPC?
My favorite NPC is from the beginning, the two guards, and if you are the thief and walk through the to get the key. This is the two NPCs, and they are my favorite ones. They are talked about that there is ship coming, and if the ship don't come, they will take the goods with. So this is I like, yes.
All right,
No,
okay. But what do you like about the combat, bro?
Yes, the combat is I like it very much. Less like Herestic say, it's not too easy and it's not too hard. It's you have to be careful with what you play. So I have seen you yesterday, and
that was bad, right?
Yes, it was bad, but not very bad. Plus, no.
It was bad. Thankfully, I know.
It was no. It's what was bad. It was bad because every time you try to kill thousands people, and this is the mistake which many people make in Mirage, that they want to kill all the enemies. In Mirage, you have the endurance. I don't know how to say this. Oh, sorry. No, you have
no problem.
I say it in German, so it's we can hate it.
Say it in German, and maybe I can explain it.
Just Ausdauerbalken. Yes,
condition.
So stamina bar. Condition bar.
Yeah.
You have this, so this is give you other level to fight. You know, you can go and I can kill them, and then I kill this, I kill this, I kill them. So you have to think about what you do, and this is the most really beautiful thing on Mirage. You can't walk around and say, yes, I'm the strongest man on earth and I kill everybody because I'm the great Basim. No, you have to think about which enemy when you want to kill. So because your abilities are not so big like in the RPGs, and your weapons are not so strong, and the enemies are stronger than the other game. So combat, I like it very much.
Okay. All right. So when Shadow will come, I think we'll just do another small round, because we will also do part 2 of this podcast, because if we before we started we said the list is too short, but rather we have already spoken over 1 hour.
See, I was right.
Yeah, you were right. Okay, no problem. Yeah. If it's okay for you, Heaven, we'll do another part of this podcast, maybe next time.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So, little small round, guys. What do you wish for the combat of Shadows?
Well, I mean, I guess I could start then.
No problem. Yeah.
I think for me, I kind of want something more along the lines of. I know it's gonna work crossing game series, but especially for Yasuke, I kind of want him to be more like how Jin was in Ghost of Tsushima, where you kind of have the different stances that you can take to fight different enemies with. And I know he has the different weapons, you have your katana, and then I honestly cannot remember basically the club,
the Kanabu
that you have as well,
and the Naginata.
Yeah. Yeah, you can switch between them, and I think that's a good idea, because I definitely want some variety. I kind of want it to be more like I kind of want it to have that challenge that, like, you know, the older Assassin's Creed games, like Assassin's Creed 1 had, where it's like, you don't feel like you're just mowing through people like you were in Assassin's Creed 3. But I also don't want it to be like a massive like hassle where it feels like it's just not fun to get into combat. You know, because it's like, oh man, this is just going to be like a, you know, like a Syndicate where it's just like, it just takes forever to take people down. Like the health bars are so big, like in Odyssey. So I'm really hoping for kind of a really good, like, happy middle where it's like we're not having just straight counter kills, but it also doesn't take like an hour just to kill one guy because he has such a massive health bar. And I know they showed off some of the abilities in some of the gameplay trailers they did, and I think they're looking pretty good. It does kind of break the realism a little bit.
Yeah.
Like some of the ones, especially that one where he like jumps really high into the air and like slams down.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't really feel very samurai to me, but I honestly, I welcome the abilities, but I just hope we get them through like leveling up, because I know in Valhalla you had to grab the different books around the world to like unlock new skills, and I really didn't like that because I'd rather just be able to like see what I have available so I know what I'm looking forward to instead of just finding something and going for it. So I hope that's the direction they take it for that, kind of that good happy middle between the combat challenge and fun, and let us like get abilities just by playing the game and not like having to collect things.
Okay. Yeah, Heretic, what do you think?
I think Naoe's combat should feel much more like Mirage. So you have to act cautiously. You must act carefully. You have to think how you kill them, and cannot just go in like a wrecking ball like Yasuke. But Yasuke, I want to be like a big warrior. I mean, I said in our previous podcast that to play like a samurai is not really possible with Yasuke, in my opinion. And
Also not an
I
assassin.
hope he will. Yes, I hope Yasuke will feel very strong, brutal, and the combat will be challenging in those terms. That the enemies will be harder, and Naoe have to act more like act more like in Mirage.
Yeah.
That's my take for combat.
Okay, thank you. And Roddy, our Odyssey player, what do you think, bro?
Yes. Yes, I hope so. They don't copy so much from Odyssey, because it's Quebec. Don't forget, it's Quebec. So I hope they really make a new, completely new thing. I have feared that Naoe can't do blocks or something. So
greetings to
we have
Big Panthers. Greetings to Quebec. We like you, guys. No problem.
I hope so, and this is too much that I like, that we have two characters with two different fight styles. So we have two different combat systems, you know. So this is a very good point, and I hope so. This is not the same, not on the same like Valhalla, you know, like clunky. And so I hope for Yasuke that he is really, it's like Heaven says, like Ghost of Tsushima, like with different stances and different moves, and it's not all the same. So yes, but I think it could be will good. Could be good.
All right. I would say that was our talk about how combat evolved about the recent years in the AC games, and what we also want for Shadows. Thank you very much for joining today's podcast episode. Thank you, Heaven. Thank you, Reddick. Thank you, Roddy. It was very nice. Makes a lot of fun to talk about different AC games, about your opinions. And also thank you, Heaven, again for making the great list, the great topic for today.
Yes, thanks, Heaven.
Yes, thanks, Heaven.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Like we said, we will also do part 2. Yeah, because we have so many points in the list, it's just we just thought, okay, it was too short, but it was too long. But no problem, we just split them, and yeah, I think that's no problem. So, guys, I would say, have a nice evening. See you next week again. Hope you get something for Shadows next week, or maybe at the Game Awards or after that. It's just coming more and more to release. 80 days to go so far. So can't wait for that, guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
gonna be great.
All right. They would say you guys had always just say bye first.
All right.
Yes.
See ya.
Yes.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
But we have a special goodbye.
Yeah.
You know?
I want to say that already because that's like we said, and remember that every day in your life, every time, every hour, every minute, every second, nothing is true.
Everything
Is
Permitted.